Okay, it's Ryan again here with a first actual coil build that I'm going to be trying. I just saw it online today, and I don't have the exact same gauge wire. I'm working with 30 now. I do have all the other stuff ordered, but I'm going to try it my way, see how it works. If it doesn't work, I probably won't post this video, but if it works, you'll get the first go. So here I've got two strands of 30 gauge that I've twisted with two strands each. So this is actually four strands, but I've got two strands of twisted 30 gauge. And now I'm going to actually twist these two strands together. And I forgot to tell you what I'm making. We're going to try to make a coil-less build I saw just recently. And so you're not wickless coil. I'm sorry, wickless coil I just saw, and we'll get this going. See how it works out. So first, what I'm doing is I'm got my two strands of the 30 gauge twisted with each two, and I've got two of those that I'm going to be twisting together, and it's going to be a wickless coil is what we're trying to build. So we are twisting two strands together. Alright, so that broke off. So we have the four strands of 30 gauge twisted to two strands twisted together, and then two strands of that twisted together again, which makes a nice little beaded diamond pattern on it. It's really cool looking. I wish I could show you, but my camera is not that good yet. So we're going to take that and we're going to put that directly into the drill, and we're going to wrap that with another strand of 30 gauge, straight 30 gauge though, not twisted. So we'll put that directly into the drill. It gets hold on there. We'll take another strand of the 30 gauge. It's got to be a longer strand because we're going to wrap this kind of like a Clapton coil, if you know what that is. So we're going to go up to the top of the drill bit here, and we're going to try to loosen it up just enough that we can fit this in there and have it hold on the end there. It doesn't seem to want to hold. I saw this on the video. He had the same problem. So what I'm going to do is instead I'm going to start it off of the drill. So I'm going to start wrapping this around this way, and I'm going to go counterclockwise with this. I went clockwise with the other wire. This wire is going to go counterclockwise. So we'll go over, get it started, and we'll start spinning it. And you want to, he had it spread out just a little bit, so I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to spread it all the way down the end of the coil here, or the end of the wire. And once you get it going, it kind of just takes itself. You just keep going until you hit the end. And that'll wrap just nicely right around all the way to the end. Okay, when I reach the end, I'm going to stop it and just kind of wrap it a few more times so it doesn't come undone. So I got it wrapped a couple extra times on the end here so that it's not going to come apart. And we'll go ahead and take that out of the drill there. Put the drill down. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the ends of this off because we don't need those ends anymore. And I got my nub nose cutters here. Cut the end here. And we'll cut the other end here. Where it started, it's going to have a little bit of uneven. You can cut that off if you'd like, but I'm going to leave it on there just because. So we have it. Two strands of 30 gauge twisted and two strands of the 2-strand twisted. So that's 4 strands. And then I have a single 30 gauge wrapped around that kind of loosely. You've got about 1 millimeter in between each of the wraps on that. So it's it looks really cool. It's got the star pattern inside of it, and then it's got the wrap around it, which I'm off camera now. And I will upgrade the camera here eventually. So we're going to get this, and we're going to wrap it probably about 4 times here. I don't know the exact resistance of this. I could check it, but I'm just going to go ahead and go wrap it. So I'm going to wrap this on a, I didn't decide that yet, pretty small one though. We'll go ahead and wrap it on a 1/16. This is my homemade coil jig. Simple to make. If you want me to make it, go ahead and make a video on how to make this. You go ahead and just post it in the comments, and I'll make you guys a video. So what we'll do is no, that's not the right one. This one has the hole in it to it's also a 1/16, but it has the hole in it to feed the wire through, so it hangs onto it. So we'll go ahead and wrap this, leave a tail on the outside, and if you have your own real coil jig, you can use that too, but this works just as well. And we'll go 4 wraps on this. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alrighty, and that works actually very well, surprisingly, and didn't mess up the wire too much. It's got it on there in the nice coil here. Can't really see it, but it's nice and tightly packed there. He had it a little bit looser than this, but I think this will work just fine. Got my tails and everything, so I'm going to go ahead and put it into my turbo, because it does have a little bit deeper juice well there, and since there's not going to be any wick on this, I'm going to have to drop that down into the well, and the juice will come up and touch that coil. So we'll go ahead and put this in there if it fits, and we take out the screw all the way, and it looks like there's plenty of room on those post holes for that to fit through. With the 30 gauge, if you use something thicker, it's probably not going to fit, because it's just barely making it with the 30 gauge I used. So we'll wick that up. You can always adjust them after you get it in there. So I got it in there, feed it there. Now what I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to have to adjust it to the middle and push it down into the juice well, so that we can have juice touching it when it's going. So I have my angled pliers, my angled tweezers here. I can grab that right on the inside of it and push that down in there. I'll do that now. Push it down into the juice well without damaging it, hopefully. Okay, got it pushed down in there, not touching the sides anywhere. You'll just adjust that a little bit, because it cannot be touching, otherwise you get the short. So we'll tighten this up now. And snug it up there. Snug up the other post. Now he only did a single, and it was 0.24. I'm going to see what my 4 wrap here is coming at. We'll adjust that a little bit. I got to bring this a little closer to me so I can see it, how deep it's going. Get a little bit deeper, not touching. Look good. So I'm going to trim the ends off here with my cutters here. Get it going, and then we'll check the resistance on it with my E-leaf over here. Put it on there to see what we got. And with one of them, 4 wraps, I'm running a 0.4, which is pretty good. So I'm going to turn this down. When I always start by turning it down to a reasonable amount, because you never know how this coil is going to react when you build it. You don't want to burn it out right as you get it. So I started at about 20. I'll go ahead and start that up, see what happens here. Oh, there we go. Now it's got a lot of hot spots in it, so I'm gonna pulse it here and get those hot spots out, kind of wiggle it a little bit, straighten it out. Now normally I would torch it, but this one is such a thick wire that if I torched this, it would straighten itself out. There we go, heating from the center all the way out, nice and bright there. So we're looking good here. That's at 20, which is on this 0.4 ohms. We're running 20.8, which is, go down to 20. It's 2.8 volts. So you could actually run this on a straight mod, I'll go up to 3.7. Put another wrap in it, you can get a little more resistance on that, but 3.6, 3.7 at 34 watts on this 0.4. That would be a comparable to a standard mod, the unregulated mod, and it's heating up quite nicely there. So I'm just gonna, I have some thin juice and I have some thick juice. I'm gonna try the thin juice first, which is Electric Amber Akima, which is just a little bit thin. So I'll try to see how that works on this wickless coil here. So I'll put a drop on there, probably hot still, yep. Now he was warning me that it does boil the juice, and I'm not gonna try to burn myself. So basically I just put enough in there just to cover the bottom of the wick there, of the wickless coil, so it's also the wick. We'll hit that up and see how it goes. Oh, started getting hot real quick there. It's because it wasn't far enough down. It did not get all the juice up there. There we go. Alright, touch it. That was I didn't hit the button there. It was just the coil was hot and it went down and touched the juice there. So it gets hot very quickly, so you want to be careful with these guys. I'm going to fill it up again. See if we can't get something out of it. This is 3.6 volts at 34 watts. And there we go. It doesn't seem to be doing too much, but that is a thinner juice, so let's go ahead and still a lot of juice in there, though. It's not burning it too quickly, so I'm going to try to hit this and see how it goes. I don't know. We'll try to turn the wattage up a little bit. We'll go up to 40. We'll go all the way up. Since I know the wick's working, we'll go to 50 watts. That's 4.4 volts on a 0.4 ohm. And there, that's pretty good. Getting a nice quick vape there. Let me make sure there's enough juice in there. Don't want to burn myself. Now, the advantage of having the wickless coil is there's no dry hits because there's nothing to dry out. It'll just burn it up. So let's go ahead and hit this again. Wow, that was pretty strong. Well, it gives you a nice hot vape on that one. I don't know if I'm going to like this very much. I'll try it a couple more times, though. I can tell you it's not a dry hit. It's interesting. So I'm going to clean out what I got in there, and I'll put a thicker juice in there, something that's Max VG, which is designed for these drippers. I just wanted to try that there, see how it worked. So got a little cup over here just to tap my juice into, and you can actually just burn off that juice until the coil heats up, because be careful though, I got it at 50 watts. I don't want to burn out my coil. And see, now all that juice is out of there and I can put a new flavor in there. That's the advantage of this wickless coil. You don't have to re-wick it when you want to change the flavor. I have some Black Mamba here from Pink Spot Vapors. That's Zero Nick Max VG. Black Mamba's a citrusy type thing, so we'll go ahead and try this. Probably still hot, so you would want to make sure you don't boil yourself over. I just want to fill this up just to the point where it covers up that thing there, and we'll go ahead and try that one. And that one's hitting pretty well too. Let me go ahead and see how this works. Oh, the Max VG is much better. You probably want to use that on there. It's cooler, and you get a lot more vape out of that. And it's 100% flavor on that, so that was a pretty good build. Pretty quick. Took me just a few minutes to do. Alrighty. So there it is, the wickless coil. And you see I ran out of juice there, so it started to heat up. Oh, caught fire. Yeah, don't burn out the juice on that one. Alright, thanks.